Let me tell you a story. I know. I didn't want to say it. How many of you did something really stupid for a boy or a girl that you're interested in? And I'm not talking really stupid like breaking the motor mount on your 1989 Jetta GLI doing a burnout to impress someone. I'm talking about really throwing caution to the wind and diving into the deep end. I did that last year. At Thanksgiving time, I was presented an option to go to Washington, D.C. I thought for maybe all of 2 minutes, and then I decided this is something I'm going to do. I looked back, and that was an incredibly stupid and incredibly smart decision. When you live like that, I think it's really freeing to be able to make a decision this way in a split second. We did this a lot when we were younger. The adult part of our brain seems to win more often. We talk ourselves off that hypothetical edge. If you want to go out and do something with your friends at night, at this age, God, I talk like we're 80, but one of the first thoughts that crosses people's minds is, I gotta work in the morning. It's really foolish for me to do this. I'm gonna hate myself, yada yada. And that's a shame. How many times are we sacrificing living in the moment for that living in the future? And yeah, I know it is very important to think about the future, but it scams us out of the now. And that's really where we're meant to be living. Well, whatever. But anyways, I was like, yeah, I'll go. I didn't really have much experience in terms of time with her. I had not met her family, and I had not met the people we would be going to see. It's really far out of my comfort zone to stay in another person's space. If I had my choice, I wouldn't be doing that. But we woke up really early and we spent all day in the car driving. At this point in time, I had a really big phobia of being a passenger in a car, which I remembered right around West Street. It didn't take me very long, and I realized I'm really not comfortable with it. That car ride probably took 2 years out of my life because of how nervous and stressed I was for no reason. But on top of that, there was another layer. I didn't know who I was in the car with. On top of that, there was another layer in this wonderfully delicious hamburger of there being a language barrier within the car. The odds, they were really stacked against me on this one, but I digress. We made it there and everything was fine. It's not worth telling. There's a lot to the story I'm going to skip over. It was, I think, a lot about how many cigarettes I smoked on their deck, just being uncomfortable with the situation, and my tobacco was my crutch. It was amazing. I miss smoking. The things we do to get to know someone. I do think that people go to greater lengths in the interest of curiosity, and that's kind of where I'm going with the story. You know, a few days went by and everything was hunky-dory. I don't know how to describe it. I was far away, and I was just trying to enjoy not being here. I remember every morning I would wake up before everyone, and being a smoker, I would want my cigarette. But I also hate being in a household where I have to worry about waking people up. We were sleeping on couches in the living room, so I would wake up in the morning and I would quietly gather my things and I would get going, and I would just walk and chain smoke cigarettes, and I would go to the grocery store. It was a really awesome area. But anyways, we were there for a few days and we decided to go nearby for a parade. This area that we went, it was like a Thanksgiving Day parade, and it was really nice. Somewhere in Virginia, I have no idea. It was like a city, but not a city. I don't know how to word it. When we were there, I heard bass. My first instinct was, what the heck is this? It sounded like someone turned their car subs up too much in the distance, and you only heard the bass line, and it was, to be honest, it was incredibly annoying. The parade route, we were like right at the finish line. It was kind of crazy where we were standing. It was like probably the best seats in the house, but it was the only ones we can get. I don't know. Really interesting, but amazing. I remember it so vividly. It was such an incredible day. The parade was lovely. There was a group of volunteers or whatever carrying an Empire banner from Star Wars, and everyone was dressed up. There were maybe 25 stormtroopers, and behind it there was Darth Vader and the Emperor were riding in a Hummer. Yeah, I think it was a Hummer. I don't know why. It was really cool though. And then there was a group of like rockabilly people dancing to classic rock and roll. It was pretty cool. In the distance, this really annoying subwoofer, it was getting louder. You couldn't hear the music. You only heard the bass. That was it. And it sounded terrible. And then from around the corner came these brightly colored people in these amazing outfits. It was so cool. The men were dressed up, if I could be completely honest, very flamboyantly. Sequins, purples, a really exaggerated dress. It looked like a very interesting costume. But while it looked remotely ridiculous, it also looked incredible. It was like such a weird thing to see someone dressed like this, so flamboyantly, but also so badass. It was so cool looking. I'm telling you, look up Bolivian caporales. Seeing these beautiful people, okay, I will judge men. Beautiful people, all of them, dancing, blowing the whistles, jumping around. I wish I could have been involved. It planted a seed in my head, and it was kind of like the first step in a lot of steps I would take until now. I'm still taking these steps, but the point of this story is, like, I don't fucking know a thing. I don't know anything. How is it that I was 35 years old in a city in Virginia, I have no idea where I was, and I was seeing caporales, and it blew my mind. I made it that far in my life to really realize I don't know shit. I haven't done shit. I haven't seen shit. This moment was so big to me. It put things into perspective and really showed me that as much of the world that I thought I knew, I didn't know anything. I still don't. I realized I am small and the world is big, and I could do something about it. It wasn't a feeling of hopelessness. It was a feeling of infinite potential. It was so incredible to me that I made it that far in my life before I had that realization that I don't know shit. I realize right now I ain't doing nothing. I get very fatigued after an hour of doing anything, and I have to stop. But I'm really hoping next year that I can start stacking cash and I could get the hell out of here. Because right now I'm going on all these wonderful trips through learning, but I want to go too. I want to get the hell out of here. That stupid fucking radiator. Going to Washington, D.C. it makes me think of two things that are incredibly powerful that I would like to do more in my life. The first thing it makes me think of is like, what was that movie with Jim Carrey? The Yes Man or whatever the hell it was called. When we submit, I didn't want to go in the car that long. I didn't want to sleep on the couch. Maybe at that point in time, I was miserable. I have no idea. But when I look back on it, it was transformative to me. It was incredible. It was an experience that I talk about with pure joy. I'll not forget that. It was incredible. And the other thing I think about is the dancing at the parade. I didn't know anything about it. And in that moment, allowing myself to be taught by the universe something brand new, I would always think about it as if it was an amazing gift. It's like a drug. It leaves me wanting to find other things to be amazed about, to learn something about, to be wrong about. I love that. And I want to get high on that. Toke up, baby. When you allow yourself to keep quiet and be amazed, you can be amazed. There's many amazing things out there. I don't know. I'm kind of ranting. Look it up. It's amazing. If you get up there and you allow yourself to look like a fool, to make yourself vulnerable, the kind spirit in people, even if it's buried deep, will generally come out and they will have fun with you. It's amazing the wonder that the universe has, the beauty and ridiculous things, the caporales dancing, that stupid subwoofer music that turns into some beautiful, memorable, incredibly unique music. It's a moment that teaches me so many things. I think most of the time we don't even know what we're thinking. We absolutely have no idea what we like and what we don't like. I could tell you my favorite kind of Oreo, but I can't tell you like important things about me. Other people around me might know, but if you don't know yourself enough, if you don't know your opinions enough, if you don't know your favorite this or that, that's wonderful. That shows you the world is ours. We have so many chances to be amazed with everything. We have so many opportunities to learn, to be wrong, to try. And every time you do something, every time you put yourself in position to try something, experience something, you get to learn more about everything. But imagine you didn't go because you saw the event on Facebook and you thought to yourself, that's stupid. Shut up. Who are we to judge without even knowing? We could go through this life hating everything. And I did for a long time. My ego didn't let me enjoy anything. And I realized how stupid that is to live like that. When I put that into perspective, it's so freeing. I talked about this before, but if you shut yourself up and allow yourself to have fun, to try something, and give it a real honest try, imagine what kind of happiness that could bring you. The most amazing part about all that is you can't even imagine what it would make you feel like, because I could not imagine how awesome Caporales would have been. Okay, bye.